What's up, guys? Welcome back into the Millennial Profit. My name's Adam and I'm a full-time reseller. If you're new here, I show you all different kinds of ways to make money. So if you like money, hit that subscribe button. So today I've got a video that a lot of people have requested. Maybe they didn't know they requested it, but I've gotten tons of questions on shipping. I know it can seem like an extremely difficult process. So I'm going to explain how to use each one of these boxes in this, when to decide if you should use FedEx, UPS. So let's get into it. All right, so I've already gone over all the supplies you need. I will link that video down below. I literally go over all the beginner supplies that you're going to need for this and where to get them. So first, for items under a pound, you're gonna wanna send first class. Something like this hat right here. This is an unstructured hat. This can go in a poly mailer. If it's structured, meaning it doesn't like bend on its own, then you're gonna wanna send it in a box, but it's still gonna be under a pound. And first class is always what you wanna send under a pound, unless you have a book or some type of media. I'll put up on the screen right now what clarifies as media. It's like CDs, books, things like that. But media is going to be a little cheaper. This book is probably right around a pound, but it's probably gonna cost around $2.89. So media mail starts at $2.30, obviously goes up with weight. And first class mail starts at $3.01 right now. This is at the time of filming the video. The rates in this video will probably be slightly increased as USPS increases their rates a couple times a year. Now for first class or media, you can't use any of these. These are all for priority that you get for free. And I'll show you how to get them for free in a second. Hang on though. For media or first class, you need to send in your own mailers or boxes. So if you order stuff online, look, this is a Walmart box right here. You can send first class in this. You can even send priority in this, just not one of the special things. I know that's kind of confusing, but if you select standard priority, you can send in any box. You don't have to use a priority box. Most of the stuff I have under a pound is going to go in a padded mailer or one of my poly mailers that I have. So that's what I will send first class and media mail in. Now getting into things over a pound, this is where you're going to want to start looking into priority and FedEx and UPS. And I will tell you how to decide and what the rates are on all those. You also want to check out Parcel Select. Usually priority now is cheaper than Parcel Select, and eBay will give you all these options. Near the end of the video, I'm going to show you a couple examples and me printing the labels, putting the dimensions, everything in. So just pay attention to this, and then I'm going to put it all together at the end for you. So one thing I like to say is before you buy something, try to decide how much it's going to cost to ship. Now, this is going to be quite difficult if you haven't done this before, but the more and more you're in this game, the more you're going to learn how much things are going to cost to ship. So obviously, I know this hat here is under a pound. So the most it could cost to ship is $5.55 currently with first class rates. If I do 4 ounce, it's going to cost anywhere from $3.01 to $3.49, depending on where it's going. Now, let's say this book, on the other hand, wasn't a book and it's definitely over a pound. So you're gonna have to decide, what can I send this in? And that's when you're gonna wanna learn how to use all of these boxes, because certain products can fit in these flat rate boxes, and in these flat rate boxes, if it fits, it ships. So starting with the smallest of these, the flat rate envelope. And like I said, if it fits, it ships. I'm gonna say that a million times in this video. Up to 70 pounds on these. I mean, what would you have to put in these to be over 70 pounds? Rocks? You couldn't even fill the large flat rate with rocks and it would be over 70. So if it fits, it ships in these. And the rate on these is $7.18, whatever you can fit in this. Next is your large legal flat rate envelope. As you can see, it's just the same thing, but a little bigger. And the cost on this one is $7.47. Then we have our small flat rate box. They come just like this, and you can kind of just fold them up. They're really not that big. I think you can fit more in those envelopes than this, but you can see about the size of it. And the cost there is $7.67 currently. I don't find myself using those three too often. One thing I could say it would be useful for, if you're selling like poly mailers or whatever and want to send them in like 1/200s, then this large one is going to be good for you. The rest of them, unless you have like really heavy, smaller items, I don't see you using those that often, but it's always good to know that they're there and that they're an option. Next, this one I use all the time. It is a padded flat rate mailer. The current rate on this one is $7.67. Now, I send hoodies and stuff in this all the time. I roll them up, stuff them in. You can stuff a lot in this thing. I mean, it doesn't look that big, but it is very useful. And anything that's slightly over a pound that you can fit in this, I send flip-flops in this. I mean, anything around this size. Instead of sending normal priority and it costing $9 or $10 sometimes, this padded flat rate comes in clutch. Now next, if you have something a little bigger and heavier, you're going to want to look into the medium and large flat rate boxes. So right here's the medium box. Really not as big as I think it should be. And these are really only good if you have stuff over like 5 pounds, I would say. The rest you're just going to want to send standard priority, which after I explain all these, I'll get into just normal priority. But the medium box here is $13.34. Flat rate, again, if it fits, it ships. So if you have something really heavy and it's this size, then obviously this is going to be cheaper than standard priority. But normally things this size, just sending in a normal box are going to be better priority. And then you got your large flat rate box. This guy's pretty big. And the rate on this currently is $18.73. Again, things over like 5-10 pounds this size are what's going to make sense here, but you also will need to check UPS and FedEx for those rates as well. Now we get into our regional boxes. Now these regional boxes are even trickier than the last couple. So basically, the closer the person is to you, the cheaper these are going to be. I'm in Ohio, so someone in California, I'm never going to use the regional boxes. The rates are by region. I will put the rates up down below. So obviously, if someone's in like Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, that's probably my region 1. That is going to be that first rate. And then California, Hawaii, probably going to be in the farther out regions for me. But as you can see for the regional box, I actually use this quite often when I'm sending things to the Midwest. It's just a good size. You can fit a lot in here. Clothing wise, that's a lot of what I sell. And this is going to range from $7.68 to $18.69 currently. I do find myself using these regional boxes more than I use the flat rates, but that's just me. It really depends on what you're shipping. A lot of people will use those flat rate boxes as well. So these prices do vary on these regional boxes, whereas the flat rate boxes are always, as they say, a flat rate. So the regional box B, basically like the regional box A, but a little bigger. Again, the rates vary by region, and the cost goes way up if it's out of your region. It is $8.07 to $34.38 if it's to the farthest region. So obviously, it's rarely ever going to make sense if it's not in region 1, 2, or 3 near you. But it is always good to check. A lot of times when I have heavier items that I know will fit in these, I will basically just look at where the buyer's address is in my head, say, oh, they're in Pennsylvania. That should be good for a regional box A. So you may be asking, how in the world do I weigh my items with these boxes and know exactly what box to send it in? This is a little tricky. There's not necessarily one right answer here. What I do is I take my item, whatever it is, put it on the scale, weigh it, and that gives me a rough estimate of what it's going to cost. I then add usually 8 ounces to a pound, accounting for the box or whatever packing material that I'm going to use. And then I just put in some rough dimensions. So I see this box and I put in like 12 by 10 by 6, just to give me a rough estimate of what all of the rates are going to be. Now the flat rate boxes, these are set dimensions and USPS knows it. So it's really just going off of weight. But to check out normal priority, UPS and FedEx ground, you need to have the correct dimensions and weight. So getting into priority mail, standard, so just normal. These are priority mail, but they are flat rates, as I have explained. So normal priority mail, this is going to actually be useful probably 75% of the time on items, I'd say under 5 pounds. Now you can get on the USPS website. I'm going to show you how to do that just after I explain this. And you can get these boxes for free. You can get all the flat rate boxes for free as well. But these are all just standard priority boxes. You can see there's a good size one. Here's another one. And the last one. So they got all different sizes. But as I said earlier, you don't have to use these for priority, just normal priority. You can use any box you have laying around. Boom. One no-no though is do not try to use one of these flat rate boxes or regional box A's and stick a normal priority label on it. They are not going to accept that. These are for those specified services only. So let me show you how to get the free supplies, and then I'm going to show you how I ship a couple different types of items. So all you have to do is go to Google, type in free USPS boxes, and then shipping supplies. You click on that and it will take you to all of these. You can see all these different ones. You've got the medium flat rate, Look, there's even more than what I explained, but I use this one a lot, the shoe box. That's perfect for shoes. I'm gonna ship a pair of shoes here in a few moments. But you can see here's the flat rate envelope, all these. Now, if you want something, you just will click on it and pick your pack, and you can order up to 6 of these times 15, add it to cart. It's pretty simple. You don't even actually need an account with them. You can actually check out as a guest. So pretty simple. You can get all different kinds of just standard priority mailing boxes, as well as all of the legal flat rates, and you can even get priority stickers from this as well. So now let's go in here and ship this item right here, these cleats. All right, so you see it just pops up with the dimensions here. I'm going to weigh it and measure it and get the right dimensions, put them in, and then decide what I want. Usually on these shoes, because they're just less than 2 pounds usually, or just over it, I'm just gonna send it in a normal priority mailing box, but I will show you what the other options are as well. All right, so I taped the bottom of the box, but not the top, because we're not exactly sure this is the exact box we're going to be sending this in. We're gonna weigh that. All right, so we round up to 2 pounds, which is correct. I know the size and dimensions of this box. It is 15 by 8 by 7. So then we're gonna hit down here to load them. You can see normal priority mail is $8. Then we're gonna hit compare all services. You can see the flat rate envelope. Obviously those aren't gonna fit in that. It's not gonna fit in the legal flat rate or the box. Those would be cheaper though if it was smaller. Also, they're a little too big for the padded envelope, and I wanna give a little extra structure for these because they did pay a lot for these and it wouldn't fit in there anyway. Regional box A, shoes are just slightly too big for that. And the B, they would fit, but it's usually a little cheaper to send it normal priority than regional rate box B, which it is here. Then you can check out UPS ground and Fedex, which again, those are great for items over 5 to 10 pounds usually. You can see all the different FedEx options here. And we got to scroll all the way to the bottom to see parcel, which like I said is usually just more than priority. So this one, we're just going to send normal priority, which remember, if I didn't have one of these boxes, I could just send this in a normal box. It could be a Walmart box, an Amazon box, whatever. I could use this box over here, this one. If you're picking a normal priority mail right here, you can send it in whatever you want. But you can get a free priority mailing box. Just do not send it in a flat rate box. That is the only no-no. So then we're just going to click purchase shipping label and we are good to go. Now shipping something like this hat is quite simple. It's just going first class, so 4 ounces. I mean, you could check all the rates, but look at that, $306 because it's going to North Carolina and I'm in Ohio. So it's gonna be pretty easy. And again, this is an unstructured hat because it's this North Carolina hat, and we're good to go. Now, one last big question that I get asked a lot is, how do you know when to send something FedEx or UPS? As I've said throughout this whole thing, it really just depends. You kind of just have to weigh it. And if it's over 5 or 10 pounds, most likely FedEx is going to have competitive rates with priority. However, under that weight mark, and priority pretty much owns the market, so you're going to have to go USPS. If you want to do rough estimates, say you're in the store and you know about the weight of it and the dimensions it's going to be, you can get on the eBay shipping calculator. It is a tool that they have, and you can put in the weight, dimensions, everything, kind of like I just did there. It looks just like that, but if you don't have something to ship to like compare it with, then you can put in the address you're shipping from and a zip code you're shipping to, and it will tell you all the rates that it's going to cost to ship there, what everything is going to cost, so you can see, okay, it'll fit in a flat rate box, so I can send it that, or it's actually going to be cheaper to send it normal priority. But that's pretty much everything I have. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know down below. I think I did a decent job at explaining it, but if you guys need a part 2 or something to this video, or I could just do a shipping questions video, if you leave your questions down below, then I can just answer them in another video. But if you're not already, follow me on Instagram at millennial_profit. You can also follow our cook group at bread and butter group. And if you're interested in joining that, go ahead and leave a comment down below for that as well, or DM us on Instagram. If you're just getting into the reselling game, I would suggest starting with items under a pound. So much easier to just go first class. But again, the more you get into it, the more profit you're going to find on items over a pound. So you really need to just try to figure this out. Hopefully this video was helpful. There's money to be made everywhere, guys. Let's go get it. Thank you for watching The Millennial Prophet.